You're much welcome at Medical Sciences Made Easy. This session we want to discuss about vitamins, which comes from the word vital, means they are only got from the diet, so they cannot be synthesized by the body. And we want to focus on this session on water-soluble vitamins. And we normally remind you to subscribe, share the video, and like. And as we know that vitamins, they are divided or they are categorized into two, whereby we have fat soluble and water soluble. Fat soluble, we know them as vitamin A, that is vitamin A, D, E, and K. Whereas water soluble vitamins are divided into B complex, which has vitamin B1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 12. Then also vitamin C. So in this session, we are going to focus on the water-soluble vitamins, which act as a precursor for formation of coenzymes. And these coenzymes catalyze different reactions in the body, which is different from fat-soluble. For them, they act as coenzymes, antioxidants, and also as hormones, whereas water-soluble, for them, they are precursors for formation of coenzymes. So under each, we are going to look at the active form, we're going to look at the function and the deficiency. In case it is not there in the body, what disease does it result? And without wasting time, we want to begin with is vitamin B1, which is known as thiamine, and thiamine, which is derived from pyrimidine. This one is derived from pyrimidine, joined to thiazo ring by methylene bridges. And this one, the active form, its active form is thiamine pyrophosphate. Thiamine pyrophosphate is the active form. Pyrophosphate is the active form. And this thiamine pyrophosphate, which is the active form, is the one that acts as cofactor in different enzymes like pyruvate dehydrogenase, enzyme which catalyzes the conversion of pyruvate to acetyl coenzyme A. Acetyl coenzyme A, we see also playing a big role in presence of alpha-ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, which is responsible for in Krebs cycle in conversion of aconitase as in conversion of isocitrate to if in case we have alpha-ketoglutarate, is converted to succinate. Then we have also transketolase enzyme, which also needs this as a cofactor, and this one is found in HMP pathway, which results into formation of pentose sugars. So these are the reactions. It acts as a cofactor, that is thiamine pyrophosphate, in presence of pyruvate dehydrogenase, alpha-ketoglutarate dehydrogenase, and transketolase. And if this is deficient, we're going to see that this acetyl-CoA produced can be used in synthesis of neurotransmitter like acetylcholine. And in case there is no acetylcholine in the body, this one can normally results into what we call the nutritional deficiency. In case it is deficient, we see beriberi and Wernicke-Korsakoff's, whereby this beriberi is divided into dry, wet, and infantile, whereby dry is seen in neuretics, in the neurons, whereby it can result into dry skin or scaly skin and neuropathy in case it is deficient. Then wet is seen in cardiac, and if chronic, it can result into cardiac failure, which is always seen as edema. that is swelling of the lower limbs. Then infertile, that is to mothers who are breastfeeding and are deficient of thiamine. So when these infants are breastfeeding their milk, it lacks this vitamin. Then wanikokosacophs, which is common in people who are alcoholics, and this one is always characterized by dementia, that is memory loss. And this wanikokosacophs, you can also call it, its other name is cerebral beriberi. And its diagnosis, we can always test it by what inhibits it, or its antimetabolite. Its antimetabolite is thiaminase. Thiaminase, which destroys the thiamine we eat in the food. And we can always also test its presence by detecting the amount of thiamine pyrophosphate in red cells. So this is what we can discuss under thiamine or vitamin B1. The second one we can talk about is vitamin B2, which is known as riboflavin. And the word flavin comes from the word flavus, which is a Latin word meaning yellow. And this vitamin B2, which is riboflavin, the active form, we shall find it is flavin monophosphate nucleotide, and also FAD, which is flavin adenine dinucleotide. So these are the active forms of riboflavin, and these guys, they participate in oxidation. The function is that they participate in oxidation reduction reactions in carbohydrate, in lipid, protein, and nucleic acid metabolism. So these play a big role in their metabolism. That is the vitamin B2, which is riboflavin, which forms flavin mononucleotide and flavin adenine dinucleotide, which are very important in oxidation reduction reaction. And these ones, they do by acting as proton acceptors. These guys accept protons and they transport them. And we shall see their deficiency. In case there is deficiency of this vitamin B2, it results into dermatitis, glossitis, chelosis, which is the breaking of the angles of the mouth, and also it can result into increased vascularization, vascularity of the cornea of the eye, because it is also responsible for epithelial mucosa, growth of the epithelial mucosa. So dermatitis, which is inflammation of the skin, glossitis is inflammation of the tongue. So in case it is deficient, that is what results. And this vitamin B1 and B2, they are got from all animal products and plant products. The third one we can talk about among the vitamins which are water soluble is number 3, which is the vitamin B3. And this vitamin B3 is known as niacin. And this niacin is eaten from foods, both animal and plants, and also can be derived from intestinal flora. Intestinal bacterial flora also produces 10% niacin. So in case of someone on prolonged antibiotic, it can result into its deficiency. And this niacin, the active form, is either NAD, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, or it can be nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate. And these guys, their major function is oxidation reduction reaction, whereby NAD plus is the one for oxidation reactions. These oxidation reactions, we find them in glycolysis, in TC, that is a Krebs cycle, and in electron transport chain, acting very well. Then NADP is also, it is the one which is responsible for reduction reactions. This one is responsible for reduction reactions seen in hexose monophosphate pathway or shunt, seen in cholesterol synthesis and de novo fatty acid synthesis. So this is their function. And after seeing their function, and we have seen some of them are produced by the normal flora of the GIT, we can say deficiency of this, in case there is no glycolysis, there is no TCA forming, there is no HMP is not happening, we see it resulting into what we call pellagra. People with the deficiency suffer from pellagra, which is demarcated by 3 Ds, and these 3 Ds include dermatitis, include diarrhea, and dementia. But before we leave this, as we have seen that 10% is by, actually this is not the flora which produces them, but the 10% of this is produced by tryptophan, whereby tryptophan is converted amino acid in the presence of vitamin B6 to niacin. And its therapeutic use, we can also use it in treatment. Therapeutic use is in treatment of hyperlipidemia. If someone has high cholesterol, high LDL, you can give nicotinic acid, and it has seen reducing LDL and total cholesterol levels in blood. So under niacin, we have seen 10% produced by conversion of tryptophan in presence of pyridoxophosphate, which is vitamin B6, also got from plants and animals. And we have seen the productive form is NAD and NAD+, which participate in oxidation reduction reaction. And the deficiency results into pellagra. Then number 4, we can talk about under the water-soluble vitamins is vitamin B5, which is pantothenic acid. And this pantothenic acid is a combination of pantothene and beta alanine. And the active form, its active form of vitamin B5 is either coenzyme A, or it can be acid, it is acyl carrier protein. Acyl carrier protein. Coenzyme A participates in Krebs cycle, in ketolysis, in fatty acid synthesis, whereas ACP also participates in, it is a key player in de novo fatty acid synthesis. So meaning, if you are deficient of these components, you might not get enough fats, might not get energy, and the nutritional deficiency is not common, but was only seen as what we call burning feet syndrome. Burning feet syndrome, which was seen in World War II, that is in 1940, in the prisoners, but very not common because it is produced by many seeds. Every food we eat contains pantothenic acid or vitamin B5, so its deficiency is rare. It is very rare. Then another fat-soluble vitamin, another water-soluble vitamin we can talk about in this session another fat-soluble vitamin, which is number 5. We are going to talk about vitamin B6. And vitamin B6 is known as pyridoxine. And this pyridoxine exists in 3 forms. It exists in 3 forms. That is pyridoxine, pyridoxo, and pyridoxamine. So these are the 3 forms of pyridoxine, which is vitamin B6, and the active form, these ones, all of them are phosphorylated to form active form, and the active form is known as pyridoxophosphate, what we call PLP. It is phosphorylated to pyridoxophosphate. So all the 3 forms are converted to PLP, and this PLP plays a big role in the function of PLP in the body. It acts as a cofactor in transamination of amino acids like alanine and aspartate. Alanine and aspartate in presence of ALT, and here in presence of AST. Then we are going to see this playing a role in the decarboxylation reactions. Decarboxylation reactions involving formation of PABA, of GABA, formation of catecholamines, that is epinephrine and norepinephrine, formation of histamines, participating in the formation of serotonin and melatonin. Melatonin is for circadian cycle, that is sleep mode. Serotonin vasoconstrictor together with histamine, then catecholamines for autonomic nervous system, and GABA. So these are the decarboxylation reaction. It also participates in non-oxidative deamination. Non-oxidative deamination of serine and thioride. These ones result in formation of ammonia and glutamate. That is non-oxidative deamination. And lastly, we can also see it participating in heme synthesis, whereby it catalyzes the condensation of succinyl coenzyme A together with glycine to form delta aminolevulinic acid. So its deficiency, we shall see it in the conditions. It's a deficiency. We see it in conditions like microcytic, hypochromic type of anemia, we see this condition, we see seizures, epileptic seizures in children, seizures. We see convulsions in case of deficiency of PABA, convulsions. We see this one also, we can see it in its deficiency can result into what we call peripheral neuropathy. Peripheral neuropathy. And even sleep disturbances due to lack of melatonin, and even lack of allergic reaction in the case of NA. And we can use this one in treatment. The therapeutic use, we can use to treat autism, children with psychiatric disorders, treating Down's syndrome, and also treatment, that is autism, Down's syndrome, we can use them to, and also people with seizures, we can also treat using vitamin B6, which is pyridoxine. So this is what we can discuss under pyridoxine, whereby we have looked at the active form. This is PLP, then the functions, deficiency, and the therapeutic use of vitamin B6. So after finishing vitamin B6, we can go to vitamin B7. which is our discussion number 6 in this session. Hope you are enjoying, and remember to subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Share to your friends so that they can also learn and like the video. So vitamin B7, which is known as biotin, this is our discussion number 6. Biotin, its active form is Biotin, or you can call it biotin. And this biotin, its function is acting as a coenzyme in different reactions involving carboxylation. So it does a big role in carboxylation reactions. That is addition of carbon dioxide on compounds like phosphoenolpyruvate, like acetyl-CoA, coenzyme A, like propionyl CoA. So we see this one be acting as a cofactor during the conversion of these compounds to their respective substance, whereby PEP is converted to acetyl coenzyme A. Then acetyl coenzyme A is converted to malonyl, which is a precursor for de novo synthesis. And this one is the utilization of, whereby you are dealing with all the fatty acids, whereby it enters into Krebs cycle by forming succinyl coenzyme A. So this is what biotin does as a cofactor. And its deficiency is not common but seen. But before we look at the deficiency, we can tell you that this biotin, 10%, is also produced by the normal floras in the GIT. Normal flora of the GIT can produce biotin, and the deficiency of biotin is not common but seen on people with prolonged antibiotic treatment. If you are taking antibiotic for long, and also seen on people who take raw eggs. These raw eggs contain avidin, and this avidin inhibits absorption. The avidin in the eggs inhibit absorption of biotin, but very rare. And this biotin, in case you are deficient of it, it can result into what we call alopecia, that is hair loss. So when you are deficient, can happen into what we call hair loss, that is alopecia. That is hair loss, glossitis, and dermatitis. That is what can result. Then another vitamin we can discuss is folic acid, which is vitamin B9. This vitamin B9, it is not synthesized by human because they lack gluconolactone synthase enzyme, so they are not synthesized by human, but other animals contain this. And its active form of folic acid, the active form is tetrahydrofolate. Tetrahydrofolate is the active form, which is formed from pteridine, whereby pteridine combined with PABA and glutamate, and when they combine, they form dihydrofolate, and dihydrofolate is converted to tetrahydrofolate in the presence of dihydrofolate reductase. And this dihydrofolate is the one that is used for many functions in the body. That if I have tetrahydrofolate, it can be used for synthesis of purines and pyrimidines. That is DNA synthesis. You can see this tetrahydrofolate in the synthesis of conversion of serine to glycine. And also we see it helping to prevent neurotube defect disorders, and also in synthesis of histidine or catabolism of histidine, and also synthesis. It provides a methyl group for synthesis of methionine from homocysteine, and its deficiency of the trihydrofolate results into megaloblastic anemia. Results into majorly that is megaloblastic anemia, which then another one which can result in, apart from megaloblastic anemia, is neurotube defects. That is spina bifida, whereby there is a hole on the spinal cord on the back, on the vertebral column. Then also there is also anencephaly, which is open brain due to lack of folic. That's why pregnant mothers, we give them FeFo or folic acid to prevent these neurotube defects on the children. So that is what we can discuss about biotin. What we can discuss about folic acid, which is vitamin B9. Then the second last we can talk about in this session is vitamin B12. And vitamin B12, as we are yet to conclude, vitamin B12, which is known as cobalamin, its active form is methylcobalamin. And this, when you eat food containing vitamin B12 combines with intrinsic factor in the from the parietal cells of the stomach, and they combine and absorbed in the intestinal mucosa. And within the intestinal mucosa, that's when it is converted to active form methylcobalamin. And this methylcobalamin is absorbed or transported in the body by cobalamin 1 and 2. And if in case this methylcobalamin is in excess, it is converted to deoxyadenosyl vitamin B12, so that in case it is needed again, it can be converted to methylcobalamin, which is the active form. And we are going to see the major functions of this vitamin B12 in the body is also, it acts as a folate trap. We're going to see acting as a folate trap, whereby this folate trap occurs when we are converting homocysteine to methionine, and this methionine is the one that maintains the trihydrofolate. So this trap prevents folic deficiency. And this one, it is also involved in many synthesis reactions in the body, whereby there is also doing the role of conversion of propionine CoA to succinyl CoA. And the deficiency of vitamin B12, which is cobalamin, results into what we call pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia, can see it resulting into megaloblastic anemia, which of course, due to this folate trap, in case it is not there vitamin B12 to donate the methyl group, this one, the trihydrofolate is depleted, which leads to megaloblastic anemia. It can also lead to what we call malonyl malonic aciduria, when it is being excreted in urine. And another thing it can result into is neuropathy, peripheral neuropathy. So these are the deficiencies of vitamin. And both vitamin B12 and folate is measured, which is given in pregnancy, and also vitamin B12 deficiency. We have seen it can result in folate deficiency due to failure of the folate trap, which is done by vitamin B12. And pernicious anemia is due to lack of intrinsic factor from parietal cells in people who have chronic peptic ulcer. Then megaloblastic anemia due to deficiency of folate, which is responsible for synthesis of DNA. So this is what we can discuss. Lastly, among the vitamins which are water soluble is vitamin C. And vitamin C, its name is known as ascorbic acid. This ascorbic acid it acts as an antioxidant, preventing the oxidation of these xenobiotics. And another thing of another major role of ascorbic acid is collagen synthesis. Collagen synthesis. You see it in collagen synthesis. You see it in steroid synthesis, steroid hormone synthesis, and in folate metabolism. That is, to convert this to the hydrofolate, we need vitamin C. So folate metabolism, steroid synthesis, and collagen synthesis, and its deficiency results into scurvy. Scurvy, which is the bleeding of the gums, it can result into prolonged prothrombin time, bleeding time, and clotting time, and also bleeding and bruises under the skin due to inactiveness of the clotting factors. Thank you for being with us from the beginning until the end. Thank you so much. We are always privileged to have you on our channel. Thank you.